Terrorism on a national level. DHS. Recently, the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, replaced its Homeland Security Advisory System that had been in place since 2002. The new system, called the National Terrorism Advisory System, NTAS, will have only two alert levels, elevated and imminent, and will no longer use a color-coded scale. An elevated alert warns of a credible threat against the United States, while an imminent alert warns of a specific and impending threat. For more information on NTAS, see www.dhs.gov/alerts. NTAS alerts. These alerts will include a clear statement that there is an elevated threat or an imminent threat. Using available information, the alerts will provide a concise summary of the potential threat, information about actions being taken to ensure public safety, and recommended steps that individuals, communities, businesses, and governments can take to help prevent, mitigate, or respond to the threat. The NTAS alerts will be based on the nature of the threat. In some cases, alerts will be sent directly to law enforcement or affected areas of the private sector, while in others, alerts will be issued more broadly to the American people through both official and media channels. NTAS alerts. National Terrorism Alert System. Elevated Threat Alert. Elevated Threat Alert warns of a credible terrorist threat against the United States. After reviewing the available information, the Secretary of Homeland Security will decide in coordination with other federal entities whether an NTAS Elevated Threat Alert should be issued. Imminent Threat Alert. Imminent Threat Alert warns of a credible, specific, and impending terrorist threat against the United States. After reviewing the available information, the Secretary of Homeland Security will decide, in coordination with the federal entities, whether an NTAS Imminent Threat Alert should be issued. Types of terrorism could include explosive attacks, radiological attacks, aircraft hijackings, chemical agents, such as poisonous gases, liquids, or solids, usually in the form of a bomb, biological agents, such as anthrax, Ebola, or smallpox, and acts of mayhem. In the event of terrorism on a national level, the superintendent is responsible for the following. When an NTAS alert is issued, the superintendent will receive input from law enforcement regarding the threat and effect on schools. The superintendent will make the decision to close schools and will communicate a pre-scripted statement and school closing decision to all principals and department heads by the district's emergency alert system. The principal's office will be contacted by the superintendent's office with the prepared district announcement. The superintendent will make the decision on whether or not to close the schools. The principal's office will read the superintendent's prepared statement at all schools. If schools stay open, the principal will make the decision on whether to suspend regular education programs and allow teachers to conduct discussions or activities dealing with the trauma of the event. Teachers will calm the students after the announcement from the principal and will explain honestly to the students about what you do understand about what has occurred. The teacher will implement the decision of the superintendent's office for closing school, maintaining usual programs, or altering plans to include discussion or activities addressing terrorism. The school counselor will determine the degree of trauma to the total student body and to individuals, and will provide counseling and possibly a student assembly to address the trauma. Resource